Hey everyone, welcome to episode 91 of the Pickleball Effect podcast. I'm your host, Braden.
And I'm Kyle.
Babyface Kyle today.
Babyface Kyle. Hit the time machine this morning.
Hit the time machine, the hairs, no hat covering.
No hat covering. I was just like, let's go. Well, I hadn't seen my face since I lost some weight, so I'm like, let's see what it looks like.
Oh, what do you think?
So, I mean, I just look like a baby.
This is your first time you've shaved it since you've lost how much weight now?
75, 76 pounds.
Was it a proud moment? You're like, yeah.
Nice. Oh, I was like, my face doesn't look as fat, so let's go.
Are you gonna grow it back out?
I'll
now?
probably grow it back out. We'll see. It was getting a little itchy on the runs, so I was just like, I was gonna trim it this morning. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna cut it off.
This episode is brought to you by Pickleball Central, where you'll find everything you need to play, improve, or stock up. From paddles and balls to shoes and bags, they've got one of the biggest selections in the game. They've also backed it up with a 30-day paddle trial, a price match guarantee, and a great rewards program. Use the link in the description to get up to 10% off most items. All purchases help support the show too, so it's a win-win. Click the link, save some money, and gear up for your next match. Anytime you're ready to go buy something, just come back to the podcast, go to the description, use the link, and save some money and support the show. So we got weekly update. I just was playing Boomstik pretty much all week. Mm-hmm. Working on my review, getting everything prepped for the Boomstik. I guess you could call it pre-launch today. So it's available today
to lab members.
Only. And then on Thursday, the 14th, it'll be available to everyone. So you could go sign up, become a labs member to go purchase this paddle early.
I probably would because I have a feeling it will sell out.
No.
You don't think so? You want to take a bet?
Even if it does sell on there, it's going to be on Pickleball Central. It's going to be on Just Paddles on Thursday.
We'll see.
It'll be all over the place.
We'll see.
I don't think this will sell out. Like the crux of my review is it's really good. It's unique, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
And
doesn't matter. People are still going to buy it.
You think so?
Even if it's not for them, they're going to buy it.
Okay, let's put a bet. What's the bet? Give me the bet.
Okay, let's bet. Oh, man. Do we want to do a monetary bet? Do we want to do something funny?
You're the one in control here. You came up with the idea. You tell me.
Man, I'll have to think of something. That's hard on the spot.
Oh, no, it's got to be on the spot. Come on, Kyle,
think. If I win, I am the host of the podcast for the next episode.
Okay, your host.
And then what do you want if you win?
If I win, I want Kyle to... Oh, man, this is hard on the spot.
I know, it's way hard.
It's so much easier just to say like $25.
No, I know. That's why I wanted to do something more fun.
Okay. I was going to... My first thought was something physical, like push-ups around, but like, no, you're like mad fit.
Let's do it.
That's not a punishment.
Make me go run.
Yeah, I'm going to make you run 12 miles.
Done.
See, there's something embarrassing Kyle has to do. Ah, crap. It'll come to me. Okay, there's a bet. There's a bet. It exists.
I'll make a public video announcing how much better Braden is than me at pickleball.
Okay, there we go. Public video of declaration of skill levels.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. So the bet is that they will sell out on Selkirk.com.
Yes.
Before
Thursday. Before people who are non-lab members,
before Thursday.
Yes, can get them.
Okay, that's the bet. There we go. It is written in podcast recording, which is very modern, instead of stone.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Speaking of podcasts, I was watching a movie and I think I know where the original podcast, like video podcast, kind of came from.
Just ever?
Yeah.
What?
I think these are all based on, it's Wayne's World, man.
Wayne's World? I've never seen.
You've never seen Wayne's World?
Don't look at me like that.
He has never seen Wayne's World. Please go watch Wayne's World. You've never seen it?
No. Is it a 90s show?
It is like the best. It's got Dana Carvey, Mike Myers.
Okay.
You've never heard of it?
Is that where Mike Myers got famous?
Yes. Well, it was like a Saturday Night Live skit that became a movie. And oh, man,
right,
you got to go watch it. You got to go watch Wayne's World.
Okay, I'll look it up. Anyways, a couple weekly update things. 38050 is Kyle's. Looks like you're talking about return locations and why. Kyle's Corner.
Just a little bit about the PBA stuff. And then we'll talk about the MOP when it's happening. Some cool teams with the PBA stuff. One, the up and comers that are making big runs now, and then new teams that were kind of fun to watch. Stuff like that.
Paddle, Babble, and Gear. I just played Boomstik. All I've been thinking this week is Boomstik. And so we're gonna talk Boomstik. We're gonna talk about whether we think this puts Selkirk back on the map in the eyes of enthusiasts. Mm-hmm. They've always done well in the mass market, but They haven't always been known or thought of as a performance brand for the enthusiast folks. Does this release change that for them? Then now we can share tech, numbers, all that stuff. And so we'll talk through that. And then I also got a question this week from a listener asking differences, or why go, or difference between low density and high density tape. I think a prevailing thought right now is it's better to spread the weight out. Mm-hmm. And so I ran some numbers on a couple different spots, and we'll just talk through why go heavier sometimes, why go lighter, and just some thoughts I had there. So I guess we can call it a tape density experiment. And then we have our paddle fitting of the week. So weekly update this week, just Boomstik.
Just Boomsticking.
And then I played a few evenings this week. I usually don't play evenings.
I know. I saw you Saturday night. I never see you Saturday night. That's always a fun event.
I need to go to that one. That one's pretty fun. But yeah, I don't ever play evenings. I've used it the last 6 months or so. I've just played middle of the day, and I'm always surprised I can find people to play the middle of the day. But there's plenty of people.
What do you guys
to play.
do for work?
I don't know. I think everyone's just paddle reviewers. They must be. But you can always find people in the middle of the day, and then that kind of protects family time. But evenings, I'm gassier in the evenings. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm playing pickle, do you ever play that game when you're playing that fart game where you're trying to fart at the perfect time and location so that your partner never smells it? You know what I'm talking about? You do this?
Oh yeah, everybody does that.
Okay, I don't know. I've never talked about this with somebody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if this is you, if you ever get in a scenario where you got to let some gas out, the best time is when you are receiving serve.
And they're up. Yeah.
Your partner's up at the kitchen. They serve, hopefully they're the first server. Yeah. So if they, there's at least going to be 3 points before you switch service boxes with your partner. It gives maximum amount of length for your fart to dissipate.
If you time your return and you fart wrong though, and then you run in, you bring it with you. Yes. So then there's this wind going.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. And you don't want to fart at the kitchen. Yeah. If you're at the kitchen and your partner's back, don't do it there. Then the whole kitchen smells.
Exactly. And it just causes, mishits and
oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one who's contemplated this.
Then you have to trust. Is it a fart or is it more? You get.
Oh, you don't know.
I don't know. Depends.
What?
Depends on how far I ran that day.
This is an issue you need to go to the doctor for, Kyle. That is not normal.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the contemplations are normal, but wondering if it's a fart or a poop, that is not normal.
I can't feel my legs after I run 16 miles.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you had a couple bullet points here.
Oh
too.
yeah, no, just of what's going on this week. I mean, I played mainly the Boomstik, a couple other paddles that aren't out yet, and then the big thing this week is getting the kids ready to go back to school. So I've been, going through supply lists, getting bedding, all that stuff. So I've been super busy with that, and then I bought a new camera.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got a Insta360 X5 action.
Is that what you were doing? That
when I was running, yeah,
dude, I was so happy you did a video or a picture or a post that wasn't you going hey, I ran 6 miles, but
I ran 20.
No. If you guys follow Kyle, his Dink Smash Media account, he's been very active about your running and all that stuff. And for the last probably 2 months, there has been a daily post with the exact same face, just showing the miles and pace.
Yeah, it's just, you know what that's for, though? Is to show people, consistency, man. It's consistency.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're doing that, but I would like a little variety in the post. So when I saw the video, I was like, yes, got something a little different here. This is great.
So I got that new camera. I'm going to use it I'm going to try and use it for some pickleball and some running, some skateboarding with my kids.
The 360, it literally shoots.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lens on each side. And then it hooks to a selfie stick, and it makes the selfie stick invisible. It's pretty cool, and I think that might be kind of the same camera that Chris used in that video that was on his hat, where it made his face look funny.
Yeah,
I think that was
bug eyes.
Yeah, I think that was a 360.
That was a pretty funny video.
That was really good actually. But yeah, so that was my week, just getting the kids ready, new camera, running, a little bit of pickle. Played with you on Saturday. You played way better than me.
We only played the one game.
I know. I've come to realize though, when I play Saturday nights, if I ran that morning and I lifted,
you can feel it.
I don't play pickleball very well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah, we played that night. It was 8 to 10 p.m. and it always takes me forever to wind down. It's been a minute since I played that late. I don't know how late I stayed out that night, but it was a minute. Are you the same way?
Oh yeah. Get your blood pumping right at 10 o'clock, and then you have to get all showered and your heart rate back down and just to normal. brain cleared before you can go to bed.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, my oldest started first grade this morning. Actually, she was pumped, dude. One of the like best moments in recent like memory I've had with her was we went to like back to school prep day or whatever. So she's in first grade. We went and did that thing, signed all the papers, met our teacher, and then she wanted to go see her kindergarten teacher before we left. And so we walked to her old teacher's room. She walks in. They just gave each other like the biggest hug, and it was really genuine. And they just like held it, and I was like, oh. Anyways, it broke my little heart. Okay, Kyle, you are doing
3 out of
5-0, brought to you by. So Holy is an advanced electrolyte system made specifically with pickleball players in mind. Their 3-step hydration approach helps you stay fueled on the court, recover faster afterward, and keep your energy up for the long haul. The flavors are dialed, the ingredients are clean, and most importantly, it actually works. Hit the link in the description and use the code PBEffect at checkout to lock in your discount. Your body and your game will thank you.
I've been drinking a lot of that.
Is your body and game thanking you?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I sweat because I weigh myself before I run. I lose almost 10 pounds of fluid when I run, like long distance. I'm pounding those.
Are you just
electrolytes.
drinking all day?
So, yeah.
What's your quota on the water?
I drink a gallon a day, and that's, I mean, that gallon has electrolytes in it most of the time, just because I'm sweating so much.
Is that outside of your running? Like,
yeah, I don't count that to like what I don't drink that much when I'm running. I have like a 16-ounce bottle, and I drink like 2 ounces after mile 3 or 4. I start drinking like 2 ounces every mile or something like that.
Nice.
To maintain. But all right, 3 out of 5-0. So a few weeks ago we had talked about like serve patterns and stuff, and I've been watching stuff. Was it last night or the night before? I was watching Kyle Kazuda, and great teacher on Instagram. Kyle. Yep. Good name. And he brought up the 3 best locations to return and why you return them there.
Okay, I like this.
And I watched it and I was like, you know what? I do think about where I do it, but not necessarily why. And his 3 positions made a ton of sense. So if you are so you have 3 spots to return.
Do we need the whiteboard?
You probably should.
Right there. Go get it, Kyle.
Okay.
The marker is just below. We will we'll break this down. Ooh, sound effects. Swift.
Don't hit the cameras.
Kyle speed.
10% faster.
10% faster. I think you're 11% now.
11% faster. All right, we're back. All right, so let's draw this up.
All right. The whiteboard is on the table. He's marking the spots. We got 4 X's. I think that's 4 humans.
Yep, 4 X's, 4 humans.
Pull it up. You got to hold it up.
I will hold it up. All right, so we're going to have, well, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's start with this guy.
Or gal.
There we go. Or gal. Okay. Bam, bam.
Boom, boom.
Okay. So we're going to be returning. So the best locations to return if you are this guy. Number one.
So you're on the right.
Yes.
You're receiving the
right
ball.
guy. You're returning the ball. Your number 1 spot is deep down the middle.
What's that do?
So deep down the middle is good because it causes these 2 to have to make a decision. Who's going to hit the ball?
Okay. Classic down the middle.
Classic down the middle. Middle
solves
solves the riddle. Everybody knows that one. All right. So the second location is actually this guy. And we're assuming they're both right-handed.
Okay.
For this. Because more often than not, you're going to play against your righties. So your second best location is going to be this guy's inside foot.
That's one of my favorite spots.
Okay. And the reason this is good is because
inside foot. So this would be the left foot of the person on the right.
it would be, yes, left foot. Yeah, the inside foot of the person on the right.
Of the right sider.
Yes. And the reason this is such a good spot is because, one, if he does decide to take it, it's his backhand, shouldn't be the best return.
As deadly.
Yeah. But it also, because you put it at that foot, it still puts it in the middle enough that this guy is thinking about coming over to take it.
Left-sider will take that a lot.
So you're still causing that decision-making, and it's actually making them have to communicate. And then your last best spot, your third best spot is here to make him have to use his backhand.
So this is the down the line corner.
Down the line corner. The spot you don't want to go is you don't want to try to go here too often.
That's the opposite corner?
Yeah. But those three spots in that order are the best. It changes obviously if you're serving from the other side. Then it's mainly the two middle spots that you're thinking about more so than taking them wide. But I just thought it was good. I think a lot of people think about just deep return. They don't think about where they're returning it.
You need to combine location with depth.
Exactly, with depth.
Yeah, I agree. These are big. My two locations are that inside foot because I love pulling that left sider over.
Yep.
If they drive that straight, that puts them into trouble because it opens up this space over here. That's a great spot, and that end decision is really good. This corner I also go to a lot because it a lot of times it's a backhand drive, backhand drop, and takes this person out of play and then opens up the middle opportunities to go after that person. And that's also allows your partner to pinch and cover more ground and make him a bigger threat, especially if he drives off the backhand. I mean, some people have crazy good backhand drives, but typically it's a little bit weaker. If they do try to drive off that backhand, your partner can often do something with it. And then if they drop it,
and if you're returning to that left sider and he's hugging the middle a little bit, he's going to take that backhand on the move instead of in a stable position.
Yep.
So
that's good.
Serve locations.
Depth and location is important. Okay, let's go to Kyle's Corner, brought to you by Slice. So I have a customized cap here, and then what do you call this guy?
Adjustable.
The adjustable slice cap as well. So these are weighted end caps that Kyle and I both use and recommend all the time. It's an easy way to fine-tune your paddle's performance. They help improve balance, add power, and make your paddle easier to maneuver all in one simple add-on. Plus, they're made right here in the USA. You can use the code PBEffect to save. Check them out using the link in the description if you decide to pick one up.
All right, PBA Bristol, did you watch?
I was off and on like usual, nothing intense.
Okay, some fun teams. It was very cool to see.
A lot of what do you call it? Like if you beat me, it would be called.
Oh, ouch. Upset?
Yes.
Jeez. Ouch. Dog. It was really cool, though, to see Matt Wright. And I know Matt Wright's real controversial. Some people love him, some people hate him. But it was cool to see him and Yame make a run.
They looked great.
They took silver, but it was cool to see them. That was a fun team, and it was fun to watch them play.
Do you know who they beat? Like they had to beat teams to get there.
Oh, they beat a couple. Yeah, I'd have to. Man, I had it listed.
Sorry, if you don't have it on you.
No, I don't have it on.
But
me.
they beat a couple of really solid teams.
Yeah,
I think Patrick couldn't fed.
Well, Tyson and Max Freeman. That was Did you watch that one?
They made a run too.
Yeah. That was who played Matt and Yame in the semifinals. Wow, and that was a killer
teams.
Exactly. It was two teams that I was like, whoa. It was super fun to watch. Max is really good.
Freeman's picking up. The dude can just flat out smack it.
Yeah.
I was watching him in MLP and like in person, it's just like
You're like, that ball's coming rather fast. They said he trains with Ignatowicz and Ryan Fu. That are like his training partners.
That's their group. Nice.
Yeah. And then I hadn't watched singles in a bit, so I actually didn't even know about this John Lucian Goins guy.
Johnny G.
Yeah, Johnny G.
I didn't really know much about him too. I'd heard of him. I'd seen clips, but I didn't really know anything.
He's a little skinny guy.
16-year-old.
Skinny. He's a 5-star tennis recruit.
1 gold though.
Yeah.
The kid looks like what's that book?
He beat Alshon.
Yeah, he beat Alshon. I can't remember what it. Anyways, but yeah, he was fantastic. He looks gangly, but he can move. And his shots were so precise. I didn't get the sense he was really ripping it harder than anyone else.
No, he has a very interesting stroke too.
Yeah, kind of tough to read. A lot like the Babble guy.
Chris.
Which he
signed with PBA. I don't know if you saw that. Or UPA. So that's awesome because I really like watching him play too.
Yeah, he's a heck of a singles player. But yeah, the kid could play.
But like you said, it was kind of a week of upsets. It was pretty. I mean, other than like at the finals, we still had Ben and Anna winning, and Anna winning, and those were all the same suspects. But
it went to 5 games in the finals for mixed. So you had the Johnsons push Ben and Anna Lee to 5, but then they just got smoked in the 5th.
I feel like anytime somebody takes them that far, they really lock in.
Yeah.
You don't want to take any of those guys to the end.
Right. But Johnny G was the fun one, I think. I didn't get to watch the final. I saw he won. I want to go back and watch that.
I watched him play all Sean, and I was just like cheering him on.
How
the whole
did
time.
he beat him?
Just smoking him. Like he's got good passing shots. He has really deceptive shots too. Where like
kind of Hayward. I think that's where that reminds me.
Yeah, like my girlfriend was watching with me, and she was like, "Why did he go that way?" I'm like, "Man, you got to guess, and it's hard to guess when the guy's holding it that long."
Yeah, he has the two-handed backhand, but he puts the tip down, which makes it real tough to read.
So it was a great game.
He needs to do something with those sideburns though. Those things, those gotta go.
That was so funny.
Johnny G,
I said something
take
about
those
that too.
sideburns off.
I was like, they're not like long enough to be like the mutton chops, and then they're not, and then they're like this weird length that's like, did your barbers forget to get them?
That is a 16-year-old who has started growing facial hair and has never done anything about it. Johnny G, trim those sideburns, brother.
That's so funny. I love it.
But you're a heck of a player. Keep playing. I like watching you play.
And then MLP, we got the playoffs coming up August 15th to 17th in San Diego, followed by 22nd to 24th in New York.
This is a round 1, round 2 thing?
Yeah. Yeah, so like certain teams don't make it to the second round, right? Isn't it like 8 and 4?
So everyone who qualified for the playoffs are playing this week in San Diego. Then they're going to play up until the semifinals. And then they're going to play the semifinals and finals in New York the following week, August 22nd through 24th. So 2 weeks in a row of MLP. This is the finals. This is the time to tune in. Everything's on the line. And it's easy to follow format with. It's just, normal kind of a single elimination bracket. And they go for it.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Is that everything?
That's it. I mean, again, as far as paddles go, I saw Yame was still playing with an Adidas, so more to come with that.
There were some memes about him having success with the Adidas paddle and Fed going, how is this possible? Dude, memes with pickleball is just...
They don't miss.
They don't miss. If you don't follow memes with pickleball, go on Instagram, follow memes with pickleball. They are hilarious.
I do think it started as one guy. I'm pretty sure he's got a team now.
Oh, he has to.
There's too much.
Quick.
It's too quick, and there's too much content now that it's definitely got to be like a team of people.
Dude, what gets me is just how on point they are.
Oh, so funny.
Like very relevant, very in the weeds.
Yep.
You and I get all their jokes, but I bet there's lots of people who watch it that the jokes go over their head because they're not as deep as we are.
Yeah.
Like that's how good they are.
They're so funny. That's it for this week. I kept it pretty short.
You've
not a lot of drama.
Yeah.
I feel like the drama has definitely come down a little bit because like now people are like, why did Paris and like that's the drama? Like why did Paris and Hunter break up? Like,
did they break up?
Yeah, you didn't know they broke up?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, I guess she hooked up with Yame or whatever. But you know what? Whatever. I mean, they're adults; they do what they want. But it is funny because I feel like for so long we had so much drama about like people freezing paddles and people do it, and I feel like we haven't had.
Maybe because power paddles are powerful now, they don't need to.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, where's the drama? I'm sure we'll get some new ones. Well, testing is about to crack down. And did you see? That's actually a big one I should have put in because I read it this morning.
Yeah,
the paddle go no go system is going to be implemented in amateur pickleball.
Okay, tell everyone what that is.
So they have PBL came up with a tester. I haven't seen it.
So PPL, they do the testing.
Yes,
for
Pickleball Pro Labs does the testing for the UPA tournaments. They came up with a machine called basically the paddle go no go that it's going to simplify paddle testing. That basically you put the paddle in there and it tells you whether it's good or not. And I haven't seen it. I don't know enough about it yet. I think I
believe it's a basic deflection test.
And
then it'll give you a red light, green light saying if it passes or fails.
But I think it checks the grit too, doesn't? I think it does it all. I think it's a one stop. Like
if they've updated it since I've talked to them about it, it's possible that they test.
I'll talk to Jason to get some more information. But this is a big deal because they're going to implement this at amateur tournaments as well.
This is huge. This is let's dive into that next week.
Yeah,
because I think that is so big for the sport. There was zero regulation in the amateur events.
Yeah, tons of crushed core. Like we talk about core crushed paddles and stuff. That doesn't happen at the pro level because it gets caught. It's prevalent in amateurs.
Right. And so this will decrease that, which is a big deal. And then also hopefully with the introduction of foam paddles, more and more of those coming out will help reduce some of those issues. But yeah, I think having some testing at the amateur level, even if it's just basic, you check in, throw it in, takes the 5 seconds or whatever.
I'll message Jason after this and see if I can get some like details on how that machine works so we can talk about it a little more.
Assuming that's successful, I imagine other pro shops.
I was going to say I would guess most facilities would purchase one or lease one, whatever model. I'm sure it's probably going to be some kind of leasing model where you lease the machine, but like it would make sense to be at major facilities for all their tournaments as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even for just local stuff, like if you're doing little local events, it's comforting.
Well, I
to
mean,
have that.
our local events still pay out, $10,000 worth of prize money. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's still money. So
Yeah, I don't want anybody just smacking it. Well, yeah, that's really exciting. Looking forward to that. Okay, let's go to Paddle, Babble, and Gear, brought to you by ADV. Here is the backpack that I've been using for ages now. So ADV are the makers of high-quality pickleball bags and accessories. I've been using their pickleball backpack V2 myself, which is this one here. And it's my go-to recommendation for players who want something that's tough, well-organized, and designed specifically for life on the pickleball court. If you're looking to level up your game or your gear setup, hit the link in the description. Use the code PBEffect. If you're a paddle junkie, if you're deep into the sport like we are, having this much space and organization is really nice to have. So go check out that backpack if you're in need of something new. All right, so we're gonna talk Boomstik, and then we'll talk about the tape density experiment. So I'm gonna quickly review tech, share my numbers, and then we'll ask the big questions. So looking at tech, these have an EPP, like a light. From what I understand, it's a lighter density EPP foam core. That was the same core they used in their 008s, and then it has an EVA foam ring around it. It's looks like a floating core. I'll have the picture of the, what do you call it?
X-ray.
The X-ray. Dude, I had to ask you that same question last week. I remember. Anyways, I'll put the X-ray up so you can see what it looks like. But think of a floating core Gen 3 style, but put
foam floating in foam.
Foam floating in foam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have that element. But what's so interesting is it doesn't feel like you think it would. It's very loud. It's explosive. It's Gen 3. So there's something they're doing that I don't know that's bringing it all together in a way that the X-ray doesn't show. But I asked, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 carbon fiber sheets. They're Infinigrid on top of that. And then of course they have the tuning system. And then the handle itself has, it's a polymer handle instead of foam. And I asked them why. It's just for weight savings.
Got it.
And then they have some expanded PU foam in the throat area that's wrapped with carbon fiber to add some strength to the throat.
To the throat, yep.
So that it doesn't snap. But that's the crux of the tech they're using. And they've had issues with they had prototypes that were breaking quickly on the Boomstik a while ago. They've been working on this for a long time. And they worked out all the kinks. I think a lot of it had to do with like adhesive stuff, getting the right adhesive mix, getting everything bonded and just working together better. I know like the EVA and the core is fused together somehow. Yeah. It's not totally separate. And so they're they got everything working. They've run their tests, and I believe them when they say that, like, they gave me specific numbers that our foam core lasts this long compared to a Gen 3. I should have wrote those things down, but I believe it. I've seen the testing. They can legitimately test the durability of paddles very well, and then they can scan X-ray. They have ways to measure whether it's core crush, power increase and things like that. So they put this thing through the paces. I believe that this thing is extremely durable, and which is a big plus.
Yeah, especially when you're spending that much money. Yeah,
a big plus for the paddles. And then they're the first ones to have that core durability in combination with the surface grit technology. Their Infinigrit is plus the core is kind of the first we've seen where it's like better durability here and here, which is what we want, right? Yeah. I think we're going to see more and more of that.
Remember, we had talked about that. They first came out with the Infinigrit, and we're excited to see this on other paddles, not necessarily the paddle they demoed it on.
Yes, exactly. And then I guess we can pull these out while we're looking at them. But numbers wise, so you have the wide body comes in at 8.3. These are just the numbers for my units. This is going to vary a little bit from paddle to paddle, right? There's going to be a range. But my units for the wide body my unit came in at 8.3 ounces, swing weight of 113, twist weight of 7.72, and then had power and pop percentiles that both fell on 92%. And then my spin was 1980. So just quick thoughts here. 113 swing weight for the wide body. That's still a good place. They added, what is this? 15 grams of extra weight on the perimeter here with their tuning system.
Yeah.
So they added quite a bit of weight, but 113 on the wide body is still good. That's maneuverable. It's still very manageable with this added weight. Typically a wide body is going to come in 109, 110-ish. And I will always weight up a wide body, and I will get numbers similar to this once I get it to a place that I want. And so the wide body, the weights were great. I think stock, it was fantastic. Sweet spot felt big, and it was still felt easy to manage and maneuver, even though it is a little bit heavier compared to other wide bodies. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And then going, excuse me, Selkirk elongated. Mine came in at 8.4 ounces, swing weight of 121, twist weight of 6.92. Spin 1989, power was in the 96th percentile, and pop was 95th percentile. So both of these, just big power, big pop. And there's no discrepancy there. It's just high on both. Now, the weights on the elongated, I didn't think worked quite as well as the wide body. Like, it works, but it has to be your preference for this to work. I think this can be applied to or usable by a wider range, where this is going to knock some people out because they like their elongateds under 120 or something. Yeah. And then, but the numbers are still pretty, like they're solid for what they are. With a swing weight of 121 and a twist weight of 6.92, I can go get 121 swing weights of other elongated paddles, and the twist weight is not 6.92. Yeah. It's like 6.2, 6.3, right? On the rare occasions, can be 6.4. So the swing weight, twist weight combination is still very good. If you weight up your paddles anyways, you might like this setup. But I do wish I could tweak this more than the wide body. Like if I was placing these weights, I might put these down, an inch lower or something to kind of find a different sweet spot or a swing weight spot that I like. And so the customization of the elongated is not as easy as the wide body. and you may not like what they set up, although I think it plays great at 121. I think it does, but if that's not your preference, it just kind of knocks you out there. But we can talk more about the tuning system in a minute. But those are the numbers. That's the quick hit on the tech. Let's talk about these now. So first question I want to ask you is, or I guess before we jump into this, just a reminder, if you didn't listen to the beginning, these are available today for early access. If you're a Labs member, you can go sign up, be a Labs member. These are made by Selkirk Labs. It's not their mainline. They're not going to go mainline. They're going to get more feedback on this, make some adjustments, and then make a mainline version down the road.
So we get a 1-year warranty.
These actually have a limited lifetime. So typically they have a 2-year. Yeah, they did change it. Typically you have a 2-year warranty with their Labs models, but they did update this one to be a lifetime because they're that confident in the core.
Do you know if that's transferable? So it used to be, I'll have to look it up, but it used to be only the person who buys the paddle gets it. So if you buy it and then you sold it to somebody,
it's still that
they
way.
don't get it. So
I imagine that's that's a universal rule, I think. And then it'll be available for mass market August 14th. It'll be 12 p.m. Eastern time. And then Kyle and I have a bet going on here. You can go listen to the beginning of the episode if you didn't hear what it was, of whether or not it sells out. Kyle thinks it sells out. I don't think it does. That's the crux. I look forward to the video you'll be making for me.
We'll see. I look forward to being the host of the Pickleball podcast.
Okay, first question I want to ask you is, does this put Selkirk back on the map in the sense of being viewed as an innovative, performance-based brand or options? I think historically, up until potentially this point, people, at least people in the enthusiasts, people who are deep into the weeds of paddles, have viewed Selkirk. Oh, we love Selkirk. They're great. They contribute to the community. Thank you. But your paddles are just kind of so-so. Yeah. They have the throat holes, the edgeless, just, they've used paint. They used paint grit before and Finagrit. They had just a few things that were like, it seemed like they were making compromises for aesthetics and gave up some performance benefits. And, but now with these, do you think these flips the script for them? Do you think this puts Selkirk back on the map? Do you think this changes the viewpoint of people like us and people who are listening today, that they're back, they're here, they're going to start producing performance-based stuff that we wanted and hoped for them, because we know that they have the capability, they have the resources, they have a lot of cool things at their fingertips that no other brand has, I don't think. What's your answer to that?
I say absolutely. I've been a kind of a hater on Selkirk for a long time. I have not been this excited about a Selkirk paddle since the Riley Newman Mach 6 Vanguard.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll age me.
That'll age you. I know that paddle. That was a
like to me
like a 7-inch handle.
Yeah, it was, but like that paddle was awesome.
I think
and
it was
like
6.5.
at that time, yeah, it was a long handle, but it was like I was super excited about the paddle. Every release since then, I've been like, like the 002 was cool, but like
Yeah, that was like with the original Vanguards that they came out.
it was right after the AMP series.
This must have been 4 years ago,
maybe longer, but
maybe
like
longer.
that was when like I felt like Selkirk was at like their peak, like for performance paddles.
Yeah. When those Vanguards came out, that was a performance paddle.
Yeah.
That was the best paddle on the market for a minute. It felt so good. Like I've never played a paddle that was so plush and pleasant, and just the control was just there.
Yeah.
But ever since that, that's when they
I
started
felt like
going
there was like a
downhill.
weird-
That's when the perception changed. They started doing this other stuff that just didn't appeal to the enthusiasts. Okay, but you think they're back? You're excited?
I think they're back. I do think they shot themselves in the foot with like. So I think these paddles were designed, and we can talk about it with the tuning system, but these play really good out of the box for the average player. But hyper nerds like us that want to customize stuff, I think this tuning system actually kind of hurts them for us.
Yes, I agree. That was one of my takes in my written review is the tuning system, exactly what you said, great for the mass market, but has an effect on enthusiasts who like doing it themselves.
And I've even talked to pros that are like, hey, can I pull these off? And I'm like, you can try, because they don't like the weight there. And like their ideal weight is 8.3, but they want to put weight up here. But if it comes already at 8.3, so I recommended to that person to just take a blow dryer to it and see if they could pop them off.
Yeah.
Because I think these are just adhesive on.
So
I would assume.
This is their tuning system. You can see their 7.5 gram weights pre-applied. These are come in, factory stock weights. Yeah, I agree. That's a good take. And so it's kind of this funny thing where like the enthusiasts want the performance, but we also want to tinker.
Exactly.
And so
that takes some of the tinkering away.
It feels very Selkirky, where it's trying to dip their toes towards the enthusiast, but still make it mass market friendly. Yeah, I wonder if they make this optional.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. Like you sell two versions, whatever. Call like one's the Boomstik and one's the Boomstik enthusiast, and one just doesn't come with weights.
Right, because as they are now, they're permanent. You can't take these things off or move them, and I advise you not to.
Yeah,
because that is gonna pull the edge guard off. It's gonna cause issues. I have not had any issues with the edge guard coming off where these weights are, though. I've seen some chatter of some early releases or some other people that have gotten models like we did where they're seeing
their edge guards
pulling off.
Yeah,
but sometimes I wonder what is going on.
You're like, why do you guys break all these paddles?
That
was a funny chat, actually.
People break these paddles, or like everyone core crushes paddles before I do. Everyone's break. I'm like, what are you doing to these paddles? Like
hitting the weight room?
Just treat them normal, and I think they'll be fine. Like, are they just like tugging on these things? I don't know.
I mean, they're stepping on them, and
I just don't run into the same issues as everyone else, at least early on.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, how am I an anomaly here? But I don't. I mean, there might be some cause for some durability, concern with these if you're rough on them. But I think if you take care of them, you'll be just fine. Yeah. Don't tug on them. Don't try to move them. Don't try to pull them off. I don't think you have any issues. I have, I think 8, 9, or like 7, 8 sessions on these. I have quite a bit of time on these, and I haven't had any issues. So I agree with the tuning system. That was my same thoughts. And then I guess like the power profile of these are so big that it makes them a little more niche as well. Yeah. I don't think these. I think they play good for what they are, but I do not think there's a mass market appeal to these. I don't think there's maybe not mass market, but like a wide audience, a wide net cast for who this would be a good fit for. The power and pop is big enough where you need some skill to be able to manage it.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be able to do,
not hard to blast it out.
Yeah, it's not hard to blast it out. I would put the control level very similar to a Pro IV. I thought I could.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was controlling these any worse than a Pro IV or a Selkirk era. But talking to some other players in the area who I tested or I gave this to, some of them picked it up really quick. Like Chris, I was playing with last night.
Yeah.
He's been playing an era. He picked this up. He was controlling it really well. Like the the benefits, offensive and sweet spot gains. He loved it. Then there's Jonathan is another guy. He's a Selkirk rep here. He didn't like it. He liked his era more because it was just a little too poppy for him.
Got it.
And so it might be a little hit and miss there, though. I do think generally speaking, if you can control the era or a bigger power Gen 3 style, I think you can manage these as long as you give it the time. But I do think it is definitely more of an intermediate to advanced play. This is not a beginner. If you don't have a developed soft game, this is going to hurt you more than it helps you type of power.
Yeah.
And so it is, but for those that it does fit, I think these definitely fill a gap in the market. You have foam paddles. One of the areas I think these fill is foam. Up until now, foam paddles have been very muted, very soft. These just total opposite, right? They're loud, they're explosive, they're stiff, they're hollow, and there's a market for that. Some people like that feel. The paddle techs are that way, the Yolas are that way. So if you like that feel and you want that level of power, but you want the durability of foam. Yeah, going to a Honolulu or a Flick is just so different from a Yola's feel wise because they're softer and more muted. This is more familiar to that Gen 3, and so it's a very unique feel for foam, so it kind of fills two gaps. It gives you a different feel for foam, and then of course power category. I just love seeing the power category filled with foam paddles because of the durability gains, and I do trust the durability things here that they are promoting with these, and so I do think the market or the people these are for is a bit smaller. I imagine they'll come out with more foams in the future. Yeah. But that will fill in maybe the all court space and control space. But for now, with this model, this is big power. This is for immediate advanced players who like a more aggressive feel, more Gen 3 feel. This is the only and best option, I think, if you're coming from that background. And I think a lot of people are really going to love it who come from that background. And so there's definitely a market for it. And I do think that these are unique and fill a gap, which can justify the price for them. But not for everyone is kind of my thoughts there. But generally speaking, like they brought new tech to the market. I love that they're experimenting with some weight here. I think the weight idea can be refined, but I like the general idea of it.
I'm still waiting for like a sliding rail system like I've talked about.
Yeah.
I feel like they're there.
Either make these movable or optional. Yeah. I think is the play. Anyways, those are all my thoughts there. I thought they did a good job. I do think this puts them back on the market. I do think this kind of showcases their innovative ability, shows that they can create something unique. They can create something that meets the power demands, and they did. And this is just the beginning for them. I think this. There's an edge guard. There's no gimmicks. Everything is legit, and they did a good job with their modern shapes. Actually, I wish they had a hybrid model, but I do like that they're simplifying to just two shapes. Makes it really easy on the consumer.
Because Selkirk's always been known for so many shapes.
Yeah, they've had like 5 shapes for a long time and just been slowly whittling it down. And now they're just moving forward with these 2 shapes. So, yeah, they're back on the map. We're going to see a lot from them. I think this is a great start, and I do think there's going to be some people that really love it. If you can demo it, I would demo it just because it is a bit of a unique feel. For me personally, I'm attracted to more plusher, softer feeling paddles, though I play well with it and didn't really have any complaints. I thought I could control it well. To me, the underlying foam feel in combination with that stiffness is pretty unique as well, where when the paddle's static, the paddle works on your behalf and slows and absorbs some pace off for you. So it makes it easier to reset the ball. But as soon as you follow through on anything, the ball goes, the pop's there, the power's there. And so shots like drops, everything takes a little bit, some time to dial in there. And it's not easier to hit a drop than say a Gen 3, but I do think it was easier to reset than a Gen 3. And so it kind of has a unique thing there. And then dwell time. I know we've talked about dwell time with the GX2 being a big deal. I didn't think that dwell time was as high as that.
I was going to say there's no way it's as high as the GX2.
No, it's not. It's definitely a flatter trajectory than the GX2, more on par with what you expect from a typical 16 millimeter paddle. So there's no surprises or things to really think about there. It's just kind of what you expect trajectory wise. But yeah, I was keeping drives low. Those spin numbers I thought were a little deceiving.
Yeah, I thought they'd be higher than that, honestly.
Yeah, so on average, that's what it was. And when I'll have to go back and look. I wonder if I remember getting some really high ones, like 2,200.
Yeah.
But also getting some low ones. So I think there might be a little bit more variability in the spread. But playing with it, I would have guessed the spin was higher because I'm getting a lot of dip on drives.
Dippy drives, dippy drops. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the spin's definitely there.
Yeah.
I didn't think it played as low as those numbers suggested. Not that those are bad numbers.
No.
But yeah, those are all my thoughts on the Boomstik for now. You can go read my full review on pickleballeffect.com. And I also have a video and a post about it on Instagram if you want to look a little deeper on some of my thoughts there.
You've been stepping up your Instagram.
Yeah, I'm trying to bump it up.
I know.
Trying to get some more action there. That post today, I'm really excited to see how it does.
That's a good one.
And then last note here, watching the PPA this weekend, I saw that Parento was playing with the Boomstik.
Boomstik, yeah.
I didn't see every Selkirk pro playing, but I did notice that she switched. I don't believe Sock switched. I think he was still playing the era.
Okay.
But there was a pro playing with the Boomstik, so we'll see if more of them switch over or if they stick with the era. That'll be kind of a fun thing to pay attention to. Any last thoughts on Boomstik?
No, again, it's a great paddle. I think they were smart. I think the tuning system does make it really good stock out of the box for the average person. If you don't like your weight there, like if you are somebody that puts weight to the head, this could push that paddle too heavy. So there's that to think about. So you'd probably be better off just going with an Era and weighting it up the way you want if you want a Selkirk that's a power paddle. But no, I think it fits a good spot. It falls, it's more powerful than the Honolulu. It's
more powerful than a Yola, more powerful than their Era series.
It's a tiny bit less than the Flick. I think it's got more control than the Flick. I
can definitely manage it better than the Flick.
Yeah, so I think it fits a really good space where it should be. Like that's a good space in the power.
Yeah, I think as far as big power and pop goes, as far as like playability goes, I think this is a good ceiling.
Yeah,
where it's the big power, big pop, but it's not over the top. Yeah. It's a good amateur can manage it.
Yeah. And also, you actually brought it up. I think because I played like with some like the Flick, it's so powerful. I have a hard time resetting with it. Not with the Boomstik. The Boomstik resets really well.
Yep.
And I think that's probably the biggest positive to it is that it has that pop and power, but it also resets really well.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. Let us know if you think Selkirk is back, if you agree with us, or if you have a different take. We can debate in the comments. I love debating in the comments. Comments are the best.
You guys are dumb.
I used to, early on, not even early on, like 6, 7, 8 months ago, I turned a switch on comments. I was like, you know what? I am embracing and loving all comments. Say what you will. I will engage and have fun with you. And I won't take anything personally. So
I will.
I think the mustache switched it for me. I got some beef with the stash.
All right.
And you know what? I like my stash. I'm going to keep it.
Keep it. I'll grow another one in 2 days.
I'll be like 3 months.
3 months. I'll be there in 2 days.
And it still looks like Johnny G's. This is my Johnny G stash.
I'm gonna grow some Johnny G. If he wins another gold, I'll grow some sideburns like
some
him.
Johnny G chops. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last thing for Paddle Babble and Gear is my little just tape density experiment and thoughts. All right. So I have a Pickleball Apes Harmony S. I ran these numbers this morning before we filmed, and so some of these thoughts are kind of on the fly, but I'll share numbers and what we're doing here. So the thought process for this experiment was we got a comment this last week asking, what's the difference between a lighter density and a heavier density? Why would I go 0.5 gram versus 1.5 gram? Is there an advantage? What are the pros and cons? Why do you have options? How do we manage and navigate that? So this is a hybrid shape. I took 4 inches of 0.5 gram per inch tuning tape, and then I took so that's 4 grams, and then I took 4 grams of my high density 1.5 inch gram tape, so that we just have a bigger difference, right?
Yeah.
Like something that's a little more stark, so we can see what the numbers are. So I put the high density, this is a hybrid shape paddle. I put the high density 4 grams right in the middle of the sides. And then I also put it above the bottom corners. And then I just did the 0.5 gram on the entire side because it's really long and takes up the entire side. You can't really move it up and down if you want to keep it on the side. Obviously, I did not, like I did these separately. I did the high density tape on both sides, and then I did the lower density tape on both sides. I just left it on here, the paddle, so that's different. You could see visually where the placements were. Okay, let's just quickly look at numbers and then thoughts around this. So stock, this thing had a swing weight of 113.49. I went to decimals because the differences are a little bit smaller, so we can see the differences. Okay, so 1.39 swing weight stock. Heavy middle, we have a swing weight of 118.41. Heavy low, down here just above the bottom quarter, we have 116.7. Okay. And then the lower density tape that just covers the whole side had a swing weight of 117.88. And then the twist weight for each location was
about the same.
But basically the exact same. Okay. Like we had 6.96, 6.98, and 6.93.
I mean, that makes sense to me. It affects the swing weight a little more.
Yeah, it's going to affect the swing weight more. So the higher you go up, the higher the swing weight. The lower you go, the lower the swing weight. But just having the weight on the side, period, is going to affect the twist weight largely the exact same, no matter where the location on the side is, as long as it's the same amount of weight.
Got it.
And so these... my thoughts for this, okay, if you want to be more particular about, the swing weight management of when you're adding weight, going high density gives you more control of what the swing weight is going to be while still giving you those same twist weight benefits. And then the lightweight is going to, like, it gave you a middle ground. So like it was 117, which was in between the two placements of the higher density tape. So just looking at those numbers, you think, oh, it's probably better to go higher density. You can control the swing weight and be a little more precise with your locations and customization there. But I think I do think there's an argument for spreading the weight around. So my thought is that the location of the weight, like for example, this high density, if I were to put this in the top corners, I do think that strengthens that higher area of the paddle. Even though the twist weight's the same, having up here at the top corner versus the bottom corner, I think it's going to strengthen that specific spot.
So for like sweet spot forgiveness, you think that matters a little more?
Yeah. So spreading the weight around is going to give you a more even distribution of, as far as, like, yes, it's the same twist weight, but it's going to give you a little better response across the whole face, where this is going to give you maybe a little more targeted response for that, whatever that location is. And so I do think that's something you want to consider and factor in when you're playing with a paddle. So sometimes if a paddle has, a little more dead space at top, bringing that weight higher is going to improve that dead spot more than having the weight down here is. And then also, I think if you're putting weight down here in the throat, it's better to spread it out with the 0.5 gram, because this way you're adding the weight you want, but then you're also starting to peak up here into the side. So you get some twist weight benefits and not just, just adding like a super dense piece down here in the throat. Yeah. So I think 0.5 gram is better if you start lower on the throat, but as you get higher on the face, if you're just putting weight on the head, I think there's more benefits to higher density and kind of where you want to put that that swing weight there, and then part of it's just like what your tolerance is for weight, right? Like you like to weight your paddles up to 9 ounces. You don't want to use 0.5 gram, or you're gonna have to put weight across the entire head, right?
I always use the high density stuff.
So you need high density stuff just because you have a higher tolerance for weight. And so that's another factor for picking what weight you want, is just what your tolerance is. Yeah. If you want your paddle to be 8.2 ounces, use 0.5 gram, spread it out a little bit, get a little bit more love there. If you are going for 9 ounces, go get the heavy. If you like between like 8.3, 8.5 ounces, use the 1 gram. And so that's another consideration as far as picking the weight. But as far as, the effect of the paddle on like the paddle's performance and location with the different densities, that's the thoughts there on how those different from each other. Do you have any?
No, I mean, I almost always use high density, but I think it's more so I just like to use less tape.
Yeah, I will use 0.5 gram and 1 gram for the most part, depending on the paddle.
No, and I see a lot of people that do wrap the whole head. They use the lighter stuff because if you you can't wrap the whole head in 1.5, or you got a 10-ounce paddle.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes if I want to strengthen a specific spot on the paddle, I'll just go put 1 inch of 0.5 gram, like higher up, so it doesn't. I don't get a huge swing weight bump, but I do get some strength there higher up with the added weight, and then I'll keep the rest of the weight lower just to add weight and improve overall stability. Okay, last section is paddle fitting of the week. So this is a long one. You ready for this?
Yeah, it's a book.
This guy says, I'm a 4.6 duper. I've always thought that I preferred elongated power paddles. Currently own the Yola Perseus 4 and a Carbon 1 True Foam. My tournament results have actually been better using the True Foam. I had to uncomfortably weight up the True Foam to get the pop that I was looking for. Makes sense. True Foam ones are heavier. But the spin and feel of the True Foam make it more controllable for me than the Yola. To summarize, I think I'm looking for improved feel and spin like the True Foam, but something that's lighter and a little bit more powerful. So you want something a little bit lighter than the True Foam and a little bit more offensive capability. The two ideas I had was one, Honolulu J2NF, and then the Gearbox GX2 Hybrid. Both of these are lighter, have similar launch angles, and then are going to give you more pop than the True Foam. Any other?
Well, I mean, I would just say,
conditions?
Well, he's got the 1 and then the Perseus, so I wouldn't discount the Honolulu J7NF just because the elongated shape, if he prefers the elongated type shapes.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, those are good suggestions. The GX2 is a good one. I would say J2NF or J7NF. Yeah, I mean, honestly, those are...
Yeah, I think one of those will hit. I agree. I do like the J7 recommendation because that is a lighter, elongated. My first thought was hybrid because you still get some range, you still get some length, but then that brings the swing weight down a little bit, which it sounds like they were looking for. But to your point,
but I think the J7 is still going to be way lighter than the...
It is.
Carbon 1.
It is. It's actually a pretty light swing weight for an elongated. But yeah, I think all of those are going to be lighter, more offense, and similar launch angles to the True Foam. And I also think it's interesting that he makes this comment. It's like, look, I'm a 4.6 duper. I think there's a lot of people in that 4.5 range that want big power, when in reality, something just a little bit toned down they're going to play better 100%. With. And I think that's something a lot of people need to kind of come to terms with. It's like, look, these big power paddles are really fun, and there are going to be people that play better with them. But I think don't discount an all-court paddle just because power paddles are...
I mean, that's like
the rage
that's roughly where my duper is. And like, I'm sure I love to get out there and blast balls with the boomstick and the flick, but I honestly still play better pickleball with like the Shogun.
Yeah. Anyways, there you go. That's our paddle fitting of the week. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hopefully it didn't suck. It didn't suck.
It didn't suck.
Why would I say that?
Yeah. We've only been here for 91 episodes. So.
Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.